Welcome to This Explainer. Okay, let's just dive right into it. Today, we're going to explore the untold story of KitKat and how a simple chocolate-covered wafer from the 1930s literally conquered the world. I mean, you see this bright red wrapper absolutely everywhere, right? But the journey of how this humble snack became a massive global icon involves a really brilliant mix of manufacturing magic, marketing genius, and honestly, some incredibly lucky cultural accidents. So get ready to look at your favorite candy aisle staple in a completely new light. Now, we're going to kick things off with a bit of a central mystery, one that's probably baffled a lot of candy lovers for years. Think about it. If you walk into a grocery store in North America or Europe, you're pretty much going to see the standard milk chocolate bar, maybe dark chocolate, and hey, if you're lucky, a seasonal white chocolate variation. But in Japan, the landscape is entirely different. We're talking hundreds of flavors. So how on earth did this candy bar develop such wildly different identities across the globe? I mean, just look at the staggering list of wild Japanese flavors, from the earthy, spicy kick of wasabi to the delicate floral notes of Sakura, and yes, even sake. This kind of regional flavor innovation didn't just happen by accident, you know? It actually became a major, record-breaking marketing strategy. We're talking about a level of customization that transformed a totally standard chocolate bar into an ever-changing culinary adventure. But before we figure out how we ended up with wasabi chocolate, we need to rewind a bit. Section 1. Humble Beginnings, the birth in York. So our story officially begins back in the early 1900s. During this time, Britain was experiencing massive growth in the chocolate and confectionery scene. Wafer snacks were really taking off because they offered this satisfying crunch and, frankly, they were relatively cheap to make. This all culminated in the 1930s when a company called Rowntree over in York, England, created the very first version of this famous treat. Their goal? They just wanted to make a snack that a working man could easily toss into his lunchbox. The solution was brilliant, a simple, satisfying chocolate-covered wafer. Section 2. Anatomy of the perfect snap. How it's made. Okay, so creating that iconic snap, it actually comes down to a surprisingly precise manufacturing process. Step 1 is the wafer preparation, baking those ultra-thin, crispy layers to perfection. Step 2 is layering them with a very specific, highly proprietary cream filling. Then, step 3 is adding that rich milk chocolate coating, which has to be literally just thick enough to hold the whole thing together. Finally, step 4 brings it to careful cooling and cutting. It's this exact, precise balance combined with really tight quality control that ensures every single bar gives you that satisfying acoustic snap when you break it. And over time, that perfect formula has been adapted into at least 7 major product variations just to suit every possible snacking need. You've got the classic standard bars, the iconic 2-finger and 4-finger formats, but then you've also got the really thick, chunky bars, the miniatures, the bite-sized, unwrapped versions, and even those sharing bags for families. This versatility is actually a massive part of its success. The core identity, that wafer and chocolate, stays exactly the same, but the delivery method shifts to fit whatever your lifestyle demands. Section 3. The power of the break. Marketing genius. Now, we can't talk about this candy without talking about its cultural anchor. Coined way back in the late 1950s, the slogan, "Have a break, have a KitKat," is an absolute masterclass in marketing. They weren't just selling chocolate anymore, they were selling an experience. They cleverly associated the physical snapping of the bar with taking a much-needed mental and physical break from your busy day. And that psychological connection, it was huge. It made the candy an automatic, reflexive purchase for workers and students literally everywhere. Armed with that incredible cultural stickiness and a genuinely universally loved product, the brand just exploded. They rapidly expanded their reach across North America, Europe, Asia, Australia, and the Middle East. Through smart partnerships, really aggressive global marketing, and maintaining strict consistency in that core product, they managed to completely transcend cultural barriers. After all, taking a break is a universal human need, right? And they successfully position their chocolate as the official, undisputed companion to that break. Section 4. The Japanese Phenomenon. A cultural synergy. So remember that mystery about Japan from earlier? Well, the secret to that phenomenon is an incredible cultural synergy. It turns out the brand name sounds almost exactly like the Japanese phrase kitokatsu, which translates to "you will surely win." Talk about a stroke of luck. Because of this totally random phonetic coincidence, the candy spontaneously transformed into this hugely popular good luck gift. parents and friends just started handing them out to students before big university exams as a delicious little talisman of success. And the brand? They noticed this organic trend and leaned into it brilliantly. They successfully leveraged that good luck tradition into an absolutely booming market of regional travel souvenirs and seasonal exclusives. For example, if you visit Okinawa, you can pick up the purple sweet potato flavor as an edible souvenir of that specific region. Then you have the sake flavor, which is available nationally for tourists, and of course Sakura, or cherry blossom flavor, which drops as a highly anticipated spring seasonal item. They literally turned a chocolate bar into a highly collectible cultural artifact. Section 5. Beyond the candy aisle, how we eat it today. Now, the traditional, originally intended use for this bar was purely as a quick snack. You'd snap it apart and pair it with a hot cup of tea or coffee. Simple, right? But just look at the modern culinary uses today. Modern foodies and chefs have totally evolved how we use this candy. You'll find it crushed up and blended into thick milkshakes, baked deep inside decadent cheesecakes, stuffed into cookies and donuts, or even elegantly sprinkled on top of specialty cafe drinks. It has completely transcended being just a standalone snack and has become an essential, go-to ingredient in modern dessert culture. Section 6. A Century of Evolution, the Packaging Legacy. And the evolution of the packaging actually perfectly mirrors our changing global consumer habits. Back in the early 1900s, they just utilized simple paper wrappers. Then, by the mid-century, they introduced that classic silver foil with the paper sleeve. I mean, so many people still feel tremendous nostalgia for that. Running your thumb down the foil to break the chocolate was basically a ritual in itself. Today, though, the brand has shifted toward modern recyclable initiatives to meet sustainability goals, alongside creating these elaborate, high-end seasonal gift boxes, especially over in markets like Japan. The wrapper might change, but the identity inside is always instantly recognizable. As we wrap up the incredible history of this global icon, from a simple working man's snack in 1930s York to a literal Lucky Charm in Japan, and now a gourmet dessert ingredient, I want to leave you with a final provocative thought. There are just so many ways to enjoy it, so how do you personally prefer yours? Do you meticulously snap it apart finger by finger? Are you a rebel who just bites it whole? Or do you crush it up over your ice cream? Whatever your method, it's pretty clear the simple chocolate wafer has truly conquered the world. Thanks for hanging out with me on this explainer, and keep exploring.